guys, welcome back. Today we're actually decorating. Now I know I built this lot maybe a year ago, possibly 2. It's just a general selection of shops, but I did want there to be some functional portions of this lot that weren't just strictly decorative. And one of those things that I wanted was kind of a pub where I could send my Sims, they could hang out. It would mostly be free peasants, maybe indentured servants, middle class as well, but not like super well-to-do and fancy. And I think I accomplished that. Like you can see, I'm just kind of building a little restroom type area because the rest of the lot is more or less a shell. And it's actually near like the laundry that I built. Basically a lot of my ABC challenge lots are in this area. So you can see right next to this the laundry. That's also where the hat maker is, and I believe the tailor. And then behind it is Hartman's with like that courtyard. The Woodenry, which still does not... it needs a better name, but I just can't think of anything, and it's just gonna probably be the Woodenry forever. So yeah, I'm just kind of grabbing out items that I know will be useful for a pub and in this type of environment. Because at the end of the day, I just need it to be functional. Now I have a lot of bar objects, as you can see here, like very, very, very many. Probably more than necessary, but hey, variety is the spice of life. And since I wanted it to be kind of, again, not run down, but not like high, fancy, upper classy, I wanted to make sure that a lot of the wood tones and things weren't perfectly matching, so almost like they collected these items over time rather than bought everything at once from a fancy place. I don't know. I can't remember if I end up keeping the wine stands or not. I do end up keeping these kegs. Mostly I just like the aesthetic of them, especially with that little keg stand. There's the idea that they're getting ale or whatever from there. Mead. Yeah, I didn't want to use that kind of bright orangey tone. I don't know why, but that's like become a default color in my head, and it just looks unfinished if I leave it that color. I also just don't like warm orangey red tones anyways for wood, so I tend to change that one. Yeah, now we got some barrels. Oh, I do keep the wine, huzzah! That little tiny barrel that I just deleted, that's actually functional as well, and Sims can get drunk and do nonsensical things. Like, I think the last rebuild that I did, Marisol Kenton, Maurice Kenton. She was the former queen, and I hadn't got to her household yet, so she was already like the wrong age, but she'd been at the ale, and she randomly proposed to somebody, because of course she did. It was entertaining, to say in the least. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with like the tables. I was kind of just going with the flow. I was like, okay, I want a bar area over here, restrooms, okay, we need tables, is there going to be food? I ended up deciding that there wasn't going to be food really served here. They'll have some food options, but it's not made at this location. They get it from somewhere else. And then I was thinking that, well, I kind of want to have like a music area. Not necessarily on a stage, but definitely somewhere where a troupe of musicians could come in and play. So I think I put a piano, a lute, I think another lute. There's 3 instruments, but I can't quite remember. I thought about the drum. Or no, I put that, which is, they can look like they're singing, kind of. But they're all functional, and that was the most important thing to me, is making sure that if I'm going to be putting these instruments down, that they were functional. So now comes the fun part of placing all of the mismatched chairs. I wanted to make sure they were still the same tone, like still kind of cool browns, but a wider variety. Plus it's an excuse to use all of my chair CC, of which there is a lot. A lot. I actually need to go back through, and I've downloaded more chairs that need to be assigned into their appropriate groups. Eventually, I will finish my great, collection folder project that I've been working on for 2 years. 2 years. And essentially it's all the different styles that I've created for my game. I've assigned, or the goal is to assign all the objects to those different folders, so right away, if I get a sim and I know their style is Tudor, I will look through my Tudor folder and decorate their house according to that. But it's a long process. Because there's a lot of items that they fit into different categories. It'd be nice if I could just let my brain go, okay, this is only this category. But no. I want to be difficult and be like, well, this could be this, or this. Which does come in handy when you have a family and say they have similar styles. I could be like, okay, this chair is technically both. But yeah. The seating was actually pretty easy. I thought I was going to have to move it around a couple times, but it just kind of came to me organically, so. Now begins my gather everything that I possibly could need to decorate phase. I do cut out some of this, but I like to include it as well, just so I can show. I don't know why that thing was slotting. It was annoying me though. I knew I wanted some plants, but not a ton of plants and nothing super fancy, just some greenery. Even put some out front. The idea with the plants was mostly just to put them on the tables. And then I discovered the cat and I was like, oh yeah, I love these. I should put cats everywhere. So there are cats throughout this location and I regret nothing. Also a little bird outside. Alright, so we've jumped to the actual decorating portion, which there was a lot of wall stuff, but I knew I had that giant wall and I wanted to make sure it was filled because it felt like it would look silly if I didn't. So I've got just a rag near the bar so the bartender could clean. I grabbed just a mirror. I figured it would be good so if the bartender turned their back they can see. They've got some bread there. That's what those little round dough things are. I figured they would be a good item to have because they could buy them in bulk, put them on that little bar, and just sell them as, people get hungry. They're not going to go bad right away, so it's a good food item to have on hand. I wanted to put all the mugs, and I realized these were clipping. I really like this mug set. I know I got it on Club Upkeep, but I don't remember what the set was. I realized later on that I had 2 rooms, and I was like, argh. And I was gonna leave it, because I was like, well, maybe they need 2. But I think I removed one later on. I really like this. I kind of wish it was categorized as a curtain. It's not, it's categorized as an object. But I always used it as a curtain. So I don't know. I also really like this. This is a huge set of tapestries with different recolors. I mostly just use them on the walls, but they could go above beds and things like that. They're really cool. I wanted everything hanging on the walls too to look old and kind of worn down. Like it's been there for a while. Maybe at one point it was new, but this place has seen better days. So many options for wall stuff I didn't realize. I was like, oh, I grabbed too many things, I think. But I actually didn't. I grabbed just enough, I feel like. I really like these shields. Because it's a good general object. General objects are so useful because they're versatile, especially in a medieval setting. So the animal heads, those are super useful because those can go in any class level and it can make sense. These pictures can kind of not necessarily go in peasant houses, but again, they could go everywhere and it would kind of make make sense. That one's more peasant-y. I don't know why this is so choppy. I think it was just the way that I was moving. I kept shifting around quite a bit. And it was a little problematic for my poor computer. I wanted to use some of these Sims Medieval paintings as well. Some of the frames are a little bit ornate for like a lower rundown place, but the colors are muted enough that maybe they got it secondhand kind of thing, and I can justify it. You've got a boar! It's definitely not perfect, like it could have. That wall especially, it's kind of like a medieval gallery wall, but it could have been done a little bit better. Yeah, sorry this footage is so choppy. I don't know, maybe it's just the way that the preview is, but it seems really choppy, which is slightly annoying. I wanted there to be a curtain kind of behind the staged area just to separate it a little bit. I had a lot of fun with this lot. I haven't decorated like a pub in a while, especially focusing on one that'll be, you know, functional. Sims can actually get into it instead of it being purely decorative. A lot of my lots are fairly functional, kind of. Notice my hesitation? I just get carried away with the deco. I really, really do, and I know that I do. It's exciting. I just love to decorate. And by decorate, I mean over-decorate to the point where it's a problem. I have a lot more like decorative wine bottles and things that I realized as well. I think because I just don't often decorate this type of lot, so I don't think about it, and I think of them as another good general object that you can use in a lot of different ways, but I probably don't need so many. At this point though, I really don't like deleting CC unless I'm absolutely positively sure that I'm never going to use it or never going to want to use it, because a lot of people delete stuff now, and The Sims 2 is an old game, so old CC is harder and harder to find. So I'm always hesitant to like get rid of anything. I wanted to use those really big, nice platters, but I realized in this location they just didn't make sense. Same with those silver stein things. Stein? I don't know. So yeah, I'm just putting like little plants on the table, nothing super fancy. All the different mugs are mismatched. I realized later that I probably should have used the ones that are on the wall, but whatever. I also put some coins on the table, some bread, just to kind of simulate that there's people here and they're drinking and they're having a good time. Bread is something that the owners could purchase kind of anywhere, so it made sense. Just kind of chucked a bucket. Again, good general CC. I also wanted there to be cards just to show that they're kind of doing stuff. And of course I messed up the rug and I was annoyed. I don't know why I didn't move the piano over. I should have, but I didn't. I might move the piano. We'll have to see. I just feel like it's too far over. Trying to find the right OMSPs too is the worst sometimes. It's a struggle. It's just like a hair too tall or a hair too short, and you just have to go through all of them. But I'm trying to make sure that there's at least something on each of the tables, just in case. Well, not just in case, but so that no matter where you are in the lot, if you're taking screenshots, there's something interesting. Because that's the worst too, if you send your Sims to like a community lot and you want to take a screenshot and the background is just, there's just nothing really cool or interesting, and so it just looks blah. yeah, maybe there's a card game there and they're betting. I wanted like the wanted poster, as well as just like general flyers kind of by the door, but a little hidden just in case. Because I do have like a big flyer board, notice board type thing, but I just like the idea that there's these notices that are super not official and they're just kind of around the corner and you have to know that they're there to find them. Yes, this is me placing 3 different cats, because of course I did, and I regret nothing. And I was like, I just need this I need this plant. I need this plant. I didn't really even need to use a lot of walkthrough blocks, which surprised me. I thought that I would, but there's so much space on this lot. It wasn't that much of a problem. I had a hard time with the rugs though. I was like, I want them to be a little off center, but not, and then, yeah, the struggle was real. I love this big rug because it's got like, it's fancy, but it's got a lot of tattered recolors to it. So you can use it in a lot of different ways. Yeah, I struggled hard with the rug placement. And then it was time for recoloring the OMSPs. I've tried a couple different things where it's like it will recolor all of them for you, and they just don't work, probably because different creators make different OMSPs, and so it's not flawless. But I do wish there was a way for it to automatically grab all of them. But yeah, we're pretty much done. So let me guys go. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Let me know what you guys think of the lot. If you liked this video, definitely give it a like, and I will see you in the next one.